Tonight, trapped in the outbreak. A patient at Life Care of Kirkland says she wants out.
You just don't know who's going to die next.
Her fear living at the epicenter of the coronavirus.
In the midst of the outbreak, President Trump slammed Washington's governor from the CDC.
That governor is a snake, okay? Inslee.
One day after visiting our state, his vice president is doing damage control.
The gloves are off in Kent. The city takes legal action to prevent a quarantine site from opening its doors.
The state's largest university takes the coursework out of the classroom.
So many of people live on campus. I honestly don't see how it would stop the spread.
And one shoe has dropped on one of the state's biggest conventions. Comic-Con not canceled, but postponed. There are now 12 deaths and 79 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Washington. Good evening, I'm Steve Rabel.
And I'm Monique Minglavin. And as we face this coronavirus emergency, angry words from President Trump about Governor Jay Inslee. The president was asked about the governor during a tour of the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta.
So I told Mike not to be complimentary of the governor because that governor is a snake.
Well, Cairo 7's Essex Porter is live now in Seattle. And Essex, you covered Governor Inslee and Vice President Mike Pence when they were together yesterday. Did you pick up on any tension then?
You know, yesterday it very much seemed like these were two leaders together, focused on the task at hand, helping Washington State deal with the coronavirus. They put aside any tension just to help Washington State. There was little hint of discord during yesterday's news conference featuring Vice President Pence and Governor Inslee at Camp Murray. And today, President Trump signed the $8.3 billion coronavirus bill with money for Washington State.
We know that $11.5 million there will be coming to Washington State directly to help support public health.
But later today, Trump took issue with Governor Inslee.
I told Mike not to be complimentary of the governor because that governor is a snake.
Those two, Trump and Inslee, have, shall we say, history. It's been tense ever since Inslee criticized Trump over guns in school at a White House lunch 2 years ago.
So I just suggest we need a little less tweeting here, a little more listening.
Now coronavirus costs are mounting in Washington State. Snohomish County spent $200,000 on the first case. King County is spending $100,000 a day. Washington State has spent $2.5 million so far.
I do believe that we have a very clear understanding that we are the tip of the spear nationally on this. We need to have the priority be Washington State at the moment because we are the tip of that effort.
Governor Inslee tweeted back at the president, "My single focus is and will continue to be the health and well-being of Washingtonians. It's important for leaders to speak with one voice. I just wish the president and vice president could get on the same page." And we saw Governor Inslee here at the county's Chinook building in downtown Seattle earlier today. This is also the building where they are coordinating the countywide response to the coronavirus. We've also heard from Vice President Pence after the president's comments, and he says that, "I can assure you President Trump has no higher priority than the health and safety of the American people." We'll let you know if this dust-up delays any of the aid scheduled to come to Washington State. For now, reporting live in Seattle, Essex Porter, Cairo 7 News.
The coronavirus has made its way to the University of Washington Seattle campus today. A staff member tested positive, and today the university's president ordered all classes move online. Cairo 7's Deborah Horn is live in the U District. And Debbie, this building is just a few blocks off the main campus.
That's right, Steve. Not far from us from that way. And the people we've been talking to say it is uncomfortably close to this building. But here the sign says it all. The Roosevelt Building is closed to all occupants. A quick walk around the University of Washington reveals its campuses have not been spared concerns about the coronavirus.
Yeah, because the cases that are surrounding around like the Seattle greater area were pretty alarming as they were kind of just like closing in on the UW campus.
And now it appears the coronavirus is here. This off-campus building at 43rd and 11th Avenue Northeast is closed. A staff member tested positive at the UW lab for coronavirus, but the test must be confirmed by the CDC. The university says hours before, President Anna Marie Kause decided to move all classroom work online through the end of the current academic quarter.
The issue that we're all dealing with is not only how do we stop this epidemic, but also how do we slow it down so that our healthcare system can respond.
But this longtime biology professor says the decision is causing disruption. He already canceled a field trip to the Seattle Aquarium to avoid contact with large crowds.
So now we're not supposed to meet in class, and my class has a practical exam where we have many specimens. You have to identify the specimen. You can't do that unless you're in the room.
I feel like the decision was more reactive instead of proactive. If we would have been able to start planning ahead like weeks in advance, we could possibly be more prepared for this situation.
Now, the UW campuses themselves are not closed. Students are being allowed to stay on campus if they want to. And this decision to put all classwork online, well, that is supposed to end right now when the next quarter begins on March 30th. Reporting live in the University District, Deborah Horn, Cairo 7 News.
Other Washington universities are also taking big precautions. Starting Monday, classes and exams at Seattle University, they will not be held in person through the remainder of winter quarter. Classes in the School of Law are also suspended. 2 more campuses here. Everett Community College and the nearby Washington State University Everett, they are closed until Monday. A student at the community college tested positive for COVID-19. And another change right here. Western Washington University remains open and classes scheduled, but winter commencement scheduled for March 21st is canceled. Graduates will be allowed to walk in the spring.
Team coverage continues now with Cairo 7's Allison Grandy. She spoke exclusively with a patient inside Life Care of Kirkland. She is seeing the people, Allison, around her passing away.
Friends died on Sunday. She doesn't want to be next. Now, her daughter fought to get her tested. They took her to Evergreen, and she's still waiting for the results. She was brought back here. But now keep in mind, loved ones tell us 2 days after they promised to test everyone inside the care center, it still hasn't happened.
I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm anxious, I'm scared.
Carmen Gray is worried about her mom. Susan Haley is 76. She's at Life Care Center of Kirkland recovering from knee surgery. Then she fell and broke her ankle. Now she's coughing. I talked to her on the phone.
All these people, you just don't know who's going to die next.
Haley was taken to Evergreen Hospital on Wednesday night to be tested for coronavirus. These photos are in the ER. But instead of letting her stay, she was transported back to the nursing home.
I did not want to come back here.
I cried the other night when I let my mom down because my sister and I promised her that once we got her out of here that we would not be bringing her back here. And I let her down. She didn't meet the criteria because she did not have distress in her breathing.
They're still waiting for her test results. Her daughter is checking on her through the window. Still, no patients have been tested for coronavirus at the nursing home, according to loved ones. Of the 69 patients at Life Care, 15 have been transported to hospitals in the last 24 hours, according to King County. Family members say the protocol has changed. Now patients are not being brought back to the nursing home. Haley just missed that chance. Susan, what do you want to have happen? What's the best thing that can happen for you?
I want to go home. I want to go home. And I know that technically I'm not ready to go home because of my feet.
But she's seen too many people die.
And a very good friend of mine died Sunday. It's terrible. She was a lovely, lovely woman.
Now, Susan Haley didn't just happen to get tested at Evergreen. Her daughter, Carmen, fought to make it happen. And we're hearing that from many different family members here. On Monday, I met Teddy Tyler. His mom had been here, then she was at Evergreen, and then she was in hospice dying of breast cancer. But she'd been even more sick. He fought to get her tested. She did have coronavirus. She also died this morning at 10:15. Live in Kirkland, Allison Grandy, Cairo 7 News.
Tragic story after tragic story. Allison, thanks. So far, no one has tested positive for coronavirus in Pierce County, even though testing began days ago. Cairo 7 South Sound reporter Kevin McCarty went to the Tacoma Pierce County Health Department to ask what they're doing to prepare for the first case. Kevin.
As Steve, health department officials tell me they expect to find the coronavirus here in Pierce County possibly soon. But after what they're calling a handful of tests here, so far, no cases have been found.
The point is that tests are happening in Pierce County. People are being tested, and all the tests have come back negative.
The situation in Pierce County is so far much different than the coronavirus outbreak in King County. Despite the temporary shutdown of Clover Park Technical College and 2 schools in Puyallup after possible exposure risks, extreme measures are not being taken. And events like the annual high school basketball tournament at the Tacoma Dome are underway as scheduled.
Yeah, currently we're not calling for the cancellation of events. We're not calling for the cancellation of schools. This is much more of a business as usual, but obviously with prudent measures in place.
There is still concern. A husband and wife living at the Solstice Senior Living Facility at Point Defiance placed themselves in voluntary quarantine after exposure to a relative who developed suspected COVID-19 symptoms. The two are not sick, according to Executive Director Lisa Meineke, and the relative have so far not tested positive for the virus. Coronavirus fears are having an impact at the University of Washington Tacoma after university officials decided to move all classes online at all campuses beginning Monday. That's frustrating for Adriana Vega and Miriam Alderaji. Both are majoring in biomedical science and have final exams coming up.
How are they going to do it, online? So it's, just stressful. They're adding pressure at us right now, and we're freaking out.
They're thinking about us and, not making us come to school because it is kind of dangerous, but at the same time, it is stressful with finals.
And Niger Turner tells me that test results are coming back faster than they were when they first began rounds of testing. He says that's because some private laboratories now have access to the coronavirus tests, and that's taking some of the workload off the state-run labs. Live in Tacoma, Kevin McCarty, Cairo 7 News.
A coronavirus quarantine zone is up and running now in White Center. These are the modular homes that will be used to house infected patients. There will be up to 32 rooms available with a push to get nearly 70 more ready. They'll be used for people who need to be quarantined but can't stay in their own homes. Washington's Department of Health can answer questions about the coronavirus, how it spreads, and what to do if you have symptoms. The COVID-19 hotline is right there on your screen, 1-800-525-0127.